Good morning, children. So, student, let's start another topic from your chapter number 3, and our today topic will be changing role of public sector. Now, student, in this topic, we are basically going to study or we are going to discuss about that how the role of government enterprises or how the role of public sector has been changed from time to time, or what was the basic role of public enterprises during the time of independence, and what is the actual role of public enterprises in our Indian economy in today time. So how these roles or has been changed from government time to time, that we are going to learn today. Now when we talk about changing role of public sector, you have to remember one thing, that public sector basically means all those enterprises where minimum 51% shares are belonging to government. This definition has been given by Company Act 2013, which we have already learned in previous video, right? So now we will discuss about how the role of public sector has been changed by government time to time in our economy. So student, let's start first that when we talk about public sector India, why public sector has been created, why government has encouraged more and more investment into the public sector. There are main two objectives of encouraging public sector investment, and that was to speed up the economic growth of country, means economic growth of country को speed up करना, and the second was to achieve a more equitable distribution of income and wealth among people. Now these both the objectives said that when we talk about public sector, the main objective of framing public enterprise type of business or having 51% investment into a business from government side was so that economic growth can be done inside the countries. Now there should be one question from your side, that even this work can be done from private sector also. So why there was a need for more encouragement in public sector? The reason behind that was, when we talk about the private sector, the main objective of private sector was to earn profit, and for this sometime even they avoid economic growth of countries. Their main objective is to achieve their own profit. That is the reason that public sector has been more encouraged from government so that economic growth of countries can be more there. Now the second objective for encouragement of more public sector investment was to achieve a more equitable distribution of income and wealth among people. Now this is a problem which our country is facing even right now also, that is more equitable distribution of income. There are certain people in our society who have income, they have more income, and there are certain people in our society, those who don't have an income, or they have very less income, or even they don't have that much of money by which they can earn or by which they can able to purchase their basic need also, things also, right? So this is basically what? This is basically unequal distribution of income or wealth. Means the money is there in the country, but it is not divided equally between each and every member or each and every one of individual of the country. So this unequal distribution, government want to remove this unequal distribution, and they want that wealth should be distributed in such a manner into the country that each and every people of the country will have a particular amount of income. Now how this is possible, and what were the reason of this unequal distribution of income? Now children, when there was less public sector and government was not investing more into public sector, that time we have most of the industries running by private sectors, and their main objective is to earn money, right? And for getting these objective, what they basically do is they used to set up the industries in those areas where they are easily able to get the raw material with less prices, where they are easily able to get the labors within less prices, and they basically see their own benefit where they have to invest less and they can able to get more money, right? So for this, what happened, basically most of the organization or industries are set up into urban areas, not rural areas. because urban areas or in cities we have all the facility of electricity, transportations, raw material, we can easily able to get labors, so we have to pay less for achieving all those facility, and just because of this we have less expenses, so we require less money to start a business also and to expand our business also. And that is the reason what was happening, that a particular area only get developed where the industries are set up. The urban area are not developed because the people, those who are starting the private sectors, they are not starting it into a rural area because they feel that they will be not able to get much facilities in that area, and they have to pay more money for getting all those raw material, labors and other thing. That is the reason that one section of the people have more income and the other section of the people where the industries are not set up, they does not have a proper income. So this is why we have an unequal distribution of income. Now just to remove this unequal distribution of income, the government has came forward and they have invested money into the private public sector in those area where private sector people does not want to start their work. So that is the reason the role of public sector has been changed. Their main objective is not to get profit, their main objective is to grow the economy of the country and to see that there is equal distribution of income and wealth among the people. Now after going through with the objective, now we will read that for completing these objectives, what are the different role and importance of public sector change with time to time. It means from independence to till now, how the role of public sector has been changed in our economy. So let's start with the first point, children, and the first point is saying about development of infrastructure. It means the role of public sector has been changed according to the development of infrastructure also. Now see how. Now children, at the time of independence, India suffered from acute shortage of heavy industries such as engineering, iron and steel, oil refineries, heavy machinery and etc. Because of huge investment requirement and long gestation period, private sector was not willing to enter these areas. The duty of development of basic infrastructure was assigned to public sector, which it discharged quite efficiently. Means see how the role of public sector has been changed here. Now we are talking here at the time of independence. What basically happened in the time of independence? There are lots of industry, or we can say there are lots of heavy industry which required lots of investment to start up that, like engineering field, like your iron and steel field, like your oil refinery fields or heavy machinery field, for which a huge amount of investment is required and where the profit can be returned back within a long period of time. So private sectors are not interested to start these type of industries. So it become the duty of government, and that is the time government has taken and started public sector for all those industry, so that these are basic infrastructure, so that the basic infrastructures can be developed by public sector. So the first role of public sector is what? To develop the infrastructures which was not developed from private sector, because they are not interested, they are not will for doing this, because they required a huge amount of investment, and even there are more risk, they have to wait for a long period of time to get profit over there. Now see the another role of public sector, the regional balance. Now the regional balance is basically related with the second objective here. Now earlier most of the development was limited to few areas like towns, for providing employment to the people and for accelerating the economic development of backward areas. Many industries were set up by public sector in those areas. Now regional balance basically say that the role of public sector was to balance the region, to balance the economy of the country. And how it is possible? It is possible when income will be distributed, or when wealth will be distributed equally between each and everybody. And how? Now see, most of the development was limited to few areas. This is about private sector, that because private sector basically have an objective of getting profit, so they used to start their business into those area where easily the facility can be achieved, facility of transportation, like facility of warehousing, like facility of insurance, communications. So these all are possible in town area, easily we can achieve all those facility there. So they basically set up their industry into town area, and because of this even the employment opportunities provided to the town area, and the village peoples are not able to get employment and income. Now this create a regional imbalance between town and between the village area. Now here it become the duty of a public sector that what they have done, they have started their industry as a form of public sectors with an investment of minimum 51%, so that the backward areas industry can be set up and the people can get employment by which the income can be generated, and this regional balance can be created. Now this was the another role of public sector, to create regional balance, and for this they have to start industry into those area which was avoided by private sectors. Now the next role of public sector was economy of scale. Now in certain industry like electric power plants, natural gases, petroleum, etc., huge capital and large bases are required to function economically. Such area were taken up by public sector. Now economy of scale basically said that where there are large scale industries, or when we have to set up a large scale industry, we required a huge capital outlay, and this is not possible by private sectors, right? So for the investment of huge industries where more money is required, the public sector has come forward, government has come forward, and they have invested these money, and by these money they have uses the government resources for the mass scale production. Means economy of scale basically say that wherever there is any industry which required a huge amount of investment, it was difficult for the private sectors to set up industry in those area, because they does not have that amount of money, right? So it become a duty of a government to start public sector in those areas for those industries, and after starting the public sectors there, to government has to use their own resources by investing government money, and they have to do the mass scale production. They have to do mass scale production for the whole country peoples. Now this was the another economy of scale where government play a very important role. Now the next role of public sector was controlling of monopoly and restrictive trade practice. Now this basically, monopoly basically said that where there is one person or one people who's trying to become owners and who's trying to restrict the whole market. Now when it happened, it basically happened then when there is nobody who's going to give him competition. So government again came here and play their important role. See how? Now these enterprises were also set up to provide competition to private sector and to check their monopolies and restrictive trade practice. Now earlier what happened, children, that when there was public sector was very less, it was private sector which are playing a very important role in the market. Now because there was no public sector who is going to give them competition, they decide the prices according to their own manner, they decide the quality of the product according to their own manners, because the consumer does not have choice. Either they have to purchase from them or they will not purchase, but they cannot go through with any other industry because there was no public industries that time. So what happened, there was a monopoly system was going on that time, because of which the complete losses has to be occurred from consumer side. So that was the time when public sector, government has started the public sector for giving competition to the private sectors. Now when public sector will also come into those same industries area, private sector has to face competition from public sectors, and if private sectors will not provide a good quality product into a reasonable rates, they will always have a threat that consumer will purchase the product from the public sector. So in this manner, what we are doing, we are trying to control the monopoly which was going from private sectors, and we are trying to restrict the trade practice which private sector was doing earlier. Now next is import substitutions. Now this we have read earlier also, import. I'll just again tell you, import basically means when we are purchasing a product from other country, we are bringing the product from other country to our country, we call it import. Now in case of import and export, we are crossing the boundary of countries, right? So when we purchase anything from our country only, we will not use that word import for that. जब आप दूसरी कंट्री से कुछ अपनी कंट्री में परचेज करके लाएंगे, we will call it import. When we will sell something or any product from our country to another country where boundaries are crossed, we will call that export. Now import substitutions में what was the role played by public or government sector? See, public enterprise were also engaged in the production of capital equipment which were earlier imported from other countries. At the same time, public sector companies like STC or MMTC have played an important role in expanding exports of the country. Very important role was assigned to public sector, but its performance was far from satisfactory, which forced government to do rethinking on public enterprises. Now see, from here the role of public sector was again changed. Import substitutions, what happened here basically, that in the time of 1970 basically, the public enterprise was engaging in the production of capital equipment good also. Capital equipment goods means there are certain technical goods which we don't have, there are certain machinery which we don't have, there are certain goods which we don't have. So these all goods have a need huge capital amount for the purpose of production. That is the reason the people of our country or the private sector peoples of our country are not able to produce these goods into our country. So they used to import these goods from other country to our country. Now here public enterprises has came and they have started producing all these capital equipment goods, so that we will try to stop the importing from other country, right? So in this time what basically has started, that they are trying to come as a import substitutions. Like they basically want to see, or they basically want to do is that the people or the private owner does not have to go outside or does not have to import a product or a technology or machine from the country, others country. They can be able to available all those equipment inside the country only, and because for the production of all those equipment there is a high amount of capital required. So government has started producing all those products by their own resources. But what happened basically, that the role which government was expecting from public sector, their performance was not satisfactory. They are not able to produce those equipment according to those reasonable prices which government was expecting. Now after this also, the government has started thinking about the public enterprises. Thinking about the public enterprises basically means how they have to now reform public enterprises sectors. What changes are required into public enterprises. So the changes which are required into public enterprises, we will be studying all those changes into public sector reform. Now see here students. Now public sectors reform, it means the changes into public sectors. Now in the Industrial Policy 1991, the Government of India introduced 4 major reform into public sector. It means there was the Industrial Policy 1991 which has made lots of rules, regulation for the industry's development or starting of industry. In that Industrial Policy 1991, before whatever rules, regulations are there for public sector, but after 1991 government has changed or introduced certain reforms for these industries. And now what are these changes? Let's start. First was reduction in number of industry reserved for public sectors. This number is reduced from 17 to 8 and 3 only in 2001. These 3 industry are atomic energy, arm and rail transport. Now children, this is very important question, that in 1991 public sector, inside public sector reform or public sector changes which is done by the government, what they have done, first changes in the public sector, what they have done, so they have reduced the number of industry which was reserved for public sector. It means before 1991 there was certain industry which was reserved for public sector, means उन इंडस्ट्री को सिर्फ पब्लिक सेक्टर ही ओपन कर सकती थी और रन करा सकती थी, प्राइवेट सेक्टर उन इंडस्ट्री में काम नहीं कर सकते थे. सो दीज नंबर ऑफ इंडस्ट्री हैज़ बीन चेंज और रिड्यूस्ड. लाइक earlier before 1991 there was 17 industry which was reserved for public sector, यानी 17 इंडस्ट्रीज़ ऐसी थी जहाँ पे 51% जो शेयर्स होते थे वो किसके होते थे, पब्लिक सेक्टर के होते थे, यानी गवर्नमेंट के होते थे. बट आफ्टर दैट this number has been reduced from 17 to 8. Still after reducing the number to 17 to 8, government has found that they still have to do certain changes. So what they have done, they again reduce the number of reserve public sectors from 8 to 3 in 2001. It basically means that after 2001 now only 3 industries are reserved for public sectors where the private sectors cannot invest, and these 3 industries are atomic energy, arm and rail transport. These 3 industries are completely belong to public sectors where the private sectors cannot invest much. Now this is the first step which has been taken after industrial policy 1991, that is reduction of number of industry reserved for public sector from 17 to 8 and from 3 in 2001. Next is Memorandum of Understanding. Now Memorandum of Understanding, that is MOU. Under this government laid down performance target for public sector and give greater autonomy to hold the management but held accountable for the specified result. Now earlier what happened, the public sectors was completely run by the government, right? Whether they got profit, whether they got loss, nothing is going to be changed inside the industries. But now after 1991 they have been made accountable also. The management has been made accountable also for the result. What has been done over there? There was a MOU has been made, Memorandum of Understanding, which way this objective of the public sector has been mentioned, let down, right? Now it was the duty of the public sector management to see they have been given full freedom from the government to function according to their own manner, but they are accountable for the result or the objective which was mentioned in the MOU. It means government has shown certain restriction here for public sector. What they have done, they have given them freedom to work according to their own management manner, right? But they make them accountable for the ऑब्जेक्टिव विच वॉज स्पेसिफाइड इनटू MOA, यानी गवर्नमेंट ने उनको फ्रीडम दे दी कि आप अपने अकॉर्डिंग काम कीजिए, बट आपको ऑब्जेक्टिव वो अचीव करने हैं, रिजल्ट वो अचीव करने हैं जो हमने MOU में स्पेसिफाइड कर रखे हैं. नेक्स्ट वॉज डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट. नाउ दिस वॉज द थर्ड रिफॉर्म विच हैज़ बीन डन इनटू द पब्लिक सेक्टर आफ्टर 1991 पॉलिसी, that equity share of public sector enterprise were sold to private sector and the public. It was expected that this would lead to improved managerial performance and better financial discipline. It means disinvestment basically said what? Disinvestment said that all those public sector enterprises which was not running on profit, the government has allowed to sold their equity share to the private sector people and even to the general public also, right? So more investment can be done, more money can be arised, and the managerial performance can be increased. Next is restructure and revival. Now this say that all public sectors SIC unit were reformed to Board of Industrial and Financial Reconstruction, which we call BIFR. Unit which were potentially viable were restructured and which could not be viewed were closed down by the board. Now in this what happened? Before this there was a disinvestment came. Disinvestment में क्या हुआ था? That all those public sector which are not running on profit, government has allowed private sector enterprises to come and purchase the share of these public sectors, and even allowed general public also to come and they can purchase the shares of public sector. So this is a process of disinvestment where we are investment which was done by public sector, we are changing it to the private sector and to the general public. Now in the restructure and revival, what government has allowed it? That government has allowed it that all the public sector sick unit means those who are not working properly, those who are not going on profit, जो losses में चल रही हैं, we call all those unit or all those industries as sick unit. Now these all sick units or these all industry which are going on losses has been referred to BIFR. BIFR is Board of Industrial and Financial Reconstruction. BIFR basically has been made to go through with all those sick industry which are suffering from losses and to see whether they can be restructured or they have to close down. So it is the duty of BIFR to go through with all those sick industry and check कि उनको हम रीस्ट्रक्चर करके प्रॉफिट में ला सकते हैं या फिर हमें उनको क्लोज डाउन करना पड़ेगा. सो गवर्नमेंट हैज़ अलाउडेड दिस टू फॉर द पब्लिक सेक्टर टू सी BIFR that whether the public sector sick unit can be restructured or if they cannot be restructured, they can be closed down. So this was a major reform which has been taken by government into the public sector. Now children, with this we have finished with our chapter number 3 because multinational companies or global enterprises has been removed from your syllabus with PPC also. So we will be finishing with our topic today. Thank you.